and welcome. I am Brinda Das.
And I am Kripa Chaudhary, and you are watching Bangalore at 7 on Comets TV.
Here's a look at the headlines. Dance bars flout the law and continue to flourish.
Blame game over road project leaves citizens in the lurch.
Video piracy mushrooming in the city despite frequent raids by the police. And now, the news in detail. If you thought dance bars no longer exist in the city, you would be mistaken.
Bangalore's many dance bars were shut down officially some years ago, but they made a gradual comeback.
The High Court then issued an order in 2010 stating that women can be employed by dance bars to serve and wait on tables, but dancing was banned. However, as Nikita Sinha explains in this investigative report, dance bars are not only flourishing now, they have also become pickup joints.
4 years ago, dance bars were allowed to legally employ women, and that is when business began booming again after an enforced shutdown. But there were certain rules that were laid down in the High Court order.
They have to wear some uniform dress. Number 2, they have to serve the food, liquor, like. They are not supposed to dance in the floor. CCTV cameras, everywhere it is fitted.
So yes, the rules are followed, in a manner of speaking. But rules are also broken. Dance bars like Blue Heaven in the Majestic area and Night Rider and Chef in Regency near Domlur have 3 dance bars each. Your girls wearing uniforms of sorts not only serve liquor but also dance for the amusement of customers. Many of the girls are from small towns. They say they have to hand over half of what they earn to the bar owners. They also say they have no other option.
मैं सबसे बड़ी हूँ.
I am the eldest of my siblings. I don't have a father, and hence I work here.
Not everyone may be cut out for this kind of job. But while the girls may have no alternative when it comes to earning a living, it is apparently not exactly a hardship either.
Staying with us is not a problem. I will create a fake ID and biodata which will prove that you are working with us. There is nothing to worry about.
We learnt that it is not just dancing that goes on in these dance bars. For a hefty price, the girls are also willing to spend the night with the customers.
We charge 25,000 rupees for special guests.
We showed the footage of the dancing girls to the top police official of the area. He would not talk to us on camera, but he expressed surprise that dance bars were flourishing under his watch. He did say, however, that he would take action against the dance bars within a week. Thanks to the High Court orders for making it legal for dance bars to employ women, dance bar owners are raking in the moolah. When you know that in these dance bars, the girls are only allowed to serve drinks and they're only allowed to stand next to the tables, you know that there are a lot of laws which are broken, and these are the reasons because of which dance bars are flourishing in this city. With Kartik Sharma, Ashwin Shankar and Brinda Das, this is Nikita Sinha for Comets TV.
A bitter fight has erupted over a 3-month delay in Bangalore's most expensive road development project.
The BBMP, an urban development NGO and a construction company, all 3 players were involved in an unseemly blame game this morning. Kartik Sharma was the witness to the unruly scenes.
That's why I came 4-3 times to your office. Please, change the drawings and estimates.
That heated verbal exchange is a reflection of the lack of coordination between the 3 parties responsible for revamping 7 major roads before November. Now, with this blame game being played out, the project will be delayed by a minimum of 3 months. At the meeting, the BBMP chief engineer insisted that the drawings and data he was provided were inaccurate. He then accused the NGO of appointing only planners, not actual engineers. The NGO countered by saying that the BBMP sat on the drawings instead of sending them to the contractor.
To me, it's really strange that when 53 drawings have gone to them, starting Jan 7, nothing has reached the contractor yet. Engineering team, as they have not done work like this before, they get a little nervous when they see new designs or new ideas.
The NGO also claims that the contractor has not been giving it accurate technical data, a claim that the contractor is quick to deny.
Certainly the contractor, that is NAPC, is not to be blamed for the delays. Reworking of data is not in my scope of works. We are supposed to get drawings and we are supposed to execute on basis of the drawings. We are not also supposed to provide data for preparation of drawings.
The 7 major roads that will be relayed as part of the first phase of this 600 crore project will connect important landmarks in Shantinagar. And the legislature who represents this constituency is sore with the BBMP. He says the BBMP is to blame for this delay.
Yes, BBMP is only responsible for it. But if BBMP does not give the drawings, how do the contractor themselves can't do what they want? No.
It is clear that in this blame game, the BBMP is taking the most flack. It is being blamed not only for delaying the project, but also for not taking responsibility for the delay. Not surprisingly, the BBMP commissioner is downplaying the whole issue.
Any new project has its limitations to understand the project, to get over the problems and start the project. And there are doubts among the various agencies in doing the work. It may be consultant, it may be NAPC, it can be BBMP.
The blame game between BBMP and the other players has ensured that the new road works planned for Bangalore is delayed. The project was due to begin in November last year, but it continues to remain on the drawing board, in a manner of speaking. So when will these roads finally be done? This question remains unanswerable at the moment. With Abira Banerjee and Nikita Sinha, this is Karthik Sharma for Comets TV.
We do not think twice before buying pirated movie CDs and DVDs from roadside vendors. Neither do we think about how this piracy affects the film industry and associated business. We have a special report. This mushrooming business has become a major headache for the film fraternity, be it regional, Bollywood or Hollywood. At almost every street corner, movie DVDs and CDs are being offered at low prices, often minutes after the film has been screened.
I
have been in this business for 2 months now. Sales are good. Students form bulk of my customers. We do not face any kind of problems from the police.
The flourishing sales of these illegal CDs and DVDs have led to the shutting down of many production companies.
And also many companies, it is closed, and also financial problems they're facing because of this illegal activity. We do make films passionately, and it hurts when they sell it on road for 20 rupees, 30 rupees and all.
The question that arises in every mind: what are the police doing about it?
We have beat constables. We will send them for beat. If any pirated CDs or any illegal things is going on in that particular area, it is his responsibility, and he has to give feedback where this type of this one is going on like. Based on that, we will send our officers, sub-inspectors, inspectors. We are going to conduct the raids. Then we arrested those sellers, as well as we seized the pirated CDs.
The public, however, seems to have no problem buying pirated films.
They are cheap and easily available. The picture quality is also good in CDs and DVDs at all. It's comfortable to watch at home also.
Following pressure from the Kannada film industry, the state government has amended an existing act to bring video piracy under its purview.
Fortunately, the Karnataka was the first state to bring Gunda Act to enforce. I am thinking to make one committee regarding this implementation of piracy of audio and video. Definitely the piracy will be stopped in Karnataka.
This illegal trade in movie CDs and DVDs has been thriving for years despite occasional crackdowns by the police. The problem seems to be that there is no dearth of buyers for pirated films. However, now in Karnataka, at least industry experts and officials are banking on a new law to curb video piracy. With camera persons Kripa Chaudhary and Nikita Sinha, this is Brinda Das for Comets TV.
It's time now for a short break. Coming up on the other side of the break,
would-be politicians learn the basics.
क्या है मैडम? पेपर स्प्रे. कोई तुम्हारे साथ फनी बिहेव करे ना? Straight in the eyes.
We all need one nowadays, huh?
तुम्हें भी अपनी सेफ्टी के लिए कुछ करना चाहिए.
हम काला टीका लगाते हैं.
काला टीका?
Like वो बुरी नजर का है. Superstitions, yeah, that's very sad.
काला टीका लगाने से कुछ नहीं होने वाला.
Education problem, guys. छोड़ो ना. Actually, मैडम, educated लोगों को भी लगाना चाहिए काला टीका.
Oh, really?
Excuse me. वोट किसी ऐसे नेता को दो जो हमारी सेफ्टी के लिए कुछ करे. सबके लिए चाहे.
हम औरतें 49% वोटर्स हैं. अपने मुद्दों के लिए वोट करो. 49 के पावर के लिए वोट करो. टाटा टी गोल्ड.
Welcome back. Can you learn to become a good politician? Is it possible to teach would-be politicians the art of good governance? Yes, says the Bangalore Political Action Committee or BPAC. That is why the organization has launched a unique training program. Ashwin Shankar has the details.
For the more than 60 men and women who have enrolled for this one-of-a-kind course at the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, it is a timely and relevant program, and it is all happening thanks to the initiative taken by the BPAC.
It is about teaching people who want to get into public service, people who are in public service, all about governance and all about better governance.
This training program will last 9 months, and the students will be taught the basics of good administration, including lessons in economics, finance and urban planning. The idea is to strengthen the pillars of democracy.
A very strong supporter of democracy, and the message I had brought for this policy workshop for students and young professionals: let us not wish for something other than democracy, but let us fix the problems that we have in our democracy.
For the first 3 months of the course, every Friday and Saturday, the students will attend classroom lectures. This will be followed by 6 months of on-the-field training.
We are in the field trying to understand the needs of the people and trying to address them. Even before getting into elections, we are working on the issues. That is bringing us closer to the society.
The program aims to get people involved in politics and in the system. It is the belief of the organizers that this is the best way to bring about change.
Our country's future depends on educating and informing the electorate and training them to take charge. That at least is the belief of the people behind this innovative course. With elections around the corner, perhaps this is an idea whose time has come. With camera person Kripa Chaudhary, this is Ashwin Shankar for Comets TV.
It's time now for a special segment. Stay tuned for Comets TV Lifestyle.
Hello and welcome to the lifestyle segment of Bangalore at 7. Today, we will take a close look at a lifestyle choice which is fast becoming a trend in Namma Bengaluru. We are talking about people who have decided it is not enough to give up meat. It is not enough to be a vegetarian. In fact, if you really feel for animals, you need to think about opting for veganism. Kripa Chaudhary went hunting. Oops, wrong choice of words. She went around looking for vegans in Bangalore and found out veganism is a popular choice even among young people.
Veganism involves abstaining from consuming animal products in any form, which means not only staying away from meat and fish, but also milk and cheese. Some may think of veganism as an extreme form of vegetarianism and wonder what vegans eat. Well, how about a burrito? Or Hasselback potatoes? Fancy some hazelnut ice cream? That's right, when vegans want a feast, there is no dearth of goodies. And now, there's even a restaurant that caters exclusively to vegans.
And I eat out a lot. In Bangalore, I had relatively few vegan options, so I'm quite happy that Carrot's opened here.
It's good. It's not because it's vegan or healthy or anything. I just like food that tastes nice. And
Vegans say it is important to understand why consuming animal products is bad for us.
Animal ingredients is really not great for health, but that information is not being communicated to the people properly. So more and more researchers has to be done actually to showcase that what is real healthy food.
Vegans used to find life difficult because very few outlets stored vegan products. But over the past 5 years or so, things have changed. Most ingredients sought by vegans are now available in supermarkets and at specialty outlets. Vegans in the city also meet once a month to exchange notes and recipes.
If somebody wants to make paneer-based dishes, you can just put tofu in that.
One young member of Bangalore's vegan group has also written a book that explains veganism in detail and also outlines the benefits of being vegan.
When I just became vegan, lots of people didn't take me seriously. So, they were like, this is a fad diet and, you're going to get severely unhealthy and all that. And whatever I told, they didn't used to listen. So I needed to make a strong statement of my own.
If you love your meat or if nothing makes you happier than a paneer-based dish, you may think vegans have it tough. But that does not seem to be the case. Vegans are happy. They are doing their bit to prevent cruelty to animals. They are pleased they are doing something for the environment. And they are delighted they have some yummy food to tuck into. Yes, indeed, they are a happy lot. With Brinda Das and Nikita Sinha, this is Kripa Chaudhary for Comets TV.
There, I think we've given you some food for thought. That's all we have for you today in the lifestyle segment. For now, it's back to the studio.
That's all we have for you on Bangalore at 7. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Good night.